All right, so your plan book you can fill in the whole week, but let's look at the plan book together because actually you can fill in next week too if you want. And then you know everything that's happening between now and winter break, which is kind of nice, right, to not have any unknown. So, this week, I got indicated with my pink post-it there. Yesterday, I hope you actually got something done on the day that I gave you guys to catch up, because I was still not feeling 100%. Hopefully you liked my guest teacher, because he liked you guys, so... He was bummed. He was trying to get me to take today off also. So he was like, come on, man, I'll go teach your kids again. I'm like, yeah, but that's my job. He's like trying to take my job. So today, 812, tomorrow, 821, 822, 831. That's the rest of this week. We're moving at the pace that we should be for Accelerated 7-8 now, and we have to because our goal is to get to the Chapter 8 Mastery by next Friday. To get there, and if we're going to play Jenga, which I'm trying to debate, do I shorten down this mastery to try to make it worth only one day? Or, like, do I just only do, like, half of it beforehand? You will get Chapter 7 Mastery back tomorrow. I wanted to actually teach class today and not go over a test. You'll get that back tomorrow. It is on quarter 2. But you have until next Tuesday to fix it, and a lot of you, if you need to fix it, we'll just fix it tomorrow and it'll be done. So next week, 832, 334. I don't think we'll need 2 days. The book says take 2 days, but I highly doubt it. And then that following Monday, because there is still school, is Winterpalooza. I'm not sure if there's classes, but then it's disco day at school if you need to be at school, and then disco day away from school for everybody. That's our plan book coming up. Questions? So, if as I'm looking around the room and I can obviously tell that you just did not write down your plan book, that might shoot you in the foot with your organization. Claire. It's on that Monday, 18th. The Monday right before break. The 18th. Of December, yes. We really need to check your homework, but I'm not showing you the my version of your homework because some of us have already started turning this in. If a problem says make a stem and leaf, guess what you're supposed to do? Make a stem and leaf. If a problem says get a piece of graph paper and draw a histogram, guess what you're supposed to do? Get a piece of graph paper and draw a histogram. Yet some of you are treating those like they're just mild suggestions. And that's earning you a check minus. So pull out your 811, which is going to be due this Friday. I'm not quite sure. I think probably just that and 812, maybe 821. We might collect 3 homeworks. But if you are only halfway answering questions or like accidentally skipping certain questions, like you might be getting back a check minus right now. Otherwise, your 811 should be out, and we should be checking our work / asking questions if something doesn't make sense for why the answer up there is different than probably the answer that you have. My heart is broken as I look around the room and see lots of papers that are obviously not done when you had yesterday as a work day. So that must mean that you were behind enough in other work or math that you couldn't spend that time getting your homework done, that you had to spend that time catching up, which means still, technically, you're behind because that homework should be done. Owen?
Their stem and leaf plots are wrong.
What about it?
The 96 is actually 95.
Oh, they just typed a number wrong. That's probably just a person making the answer key. So you're saying this leaf, that is 6, should actually be a 5?
Yeah.
So there you go. Oh, and caught a book mistake, so you get a piece of candy. Because it's not my mistake, but it is a mistake, so you get a piece of candy for paying attention. So top drawer whenever you want it. What's that? Then it's coming back right now. Yep, if you accidentally turn this in ahead of time, it is coming back to you right now. Gravity working against me. I'll give you a couple more moments to look at it. I should make this a bit bigger as for our visually impaired friends. There we go. this homework isn't done, you could be working on it, not copying, because that's kind of obvious when you're looking back and forth and back and forth and back and forth. But if you're not done with this, use this time to get something done.
Can I copy if I already did it but I lost the page?
I mean, then it's not really copying. You're just trying to pull it back out of your memory, I think.
Thank you. So yesterday there was only 2.5 papers.
I really do appreciate those of you that stapled your stuff together, which is most of you. Made my grading a lot more effective. And then some of us had multiple homeworks, but then at different times. They couldn't be stapled. Questions? Something that the answer does not make sense for what you have. All right, moving on down. A histogram, because some of us seem like we have forgotten what they are. A histogram, like a bar graph but different, is showing amount of things in that range. Everybody's eyes should be up here. So for your histogram, for 13, it tells you make bin width sub 10. Does it tell? Yeah, use a bin width of 10. And I put that reminder there. If a value falls on the line, place it in the upper bin. Right? So if it was 10, it bumps up. If it was 20, it bumps up. Right? Because where could 0 go? 0 can't bump down. There's no bar down, so 0 would have to bump up into this bar. So the frequency is a fancy name for how many. And you do not put spaces between your bars. Our diamond problems are starting to get more tricky because they're not whole numbers. We know fractions to add need common denominators, and multiplication goes straight through. Charlie, quit playing with that before I make you throw it away. Your homework is obviously not done, and you're obviously not paying attention. If you turn this homework in with just answers, guess what grade you'll get? Check minus, because I just showed you all of the answers. When it says show work, you show work. When it says do algebra, we do algebra. Stem and leaf, we make a stem and leaf. Histogram, we make a histogram. Yes, I'm frustrated. I gave out way too many check minuses, which is not my, I don't control that. If you turn in halfway done homework, that's a you problem. Any questions? Owen.
On 815, I got x equals negative 7.5.
For which one? We could subtract 3x from both sides. We could subtract 20 from both sides. That'd give us 2x equals negative 16.
Oh, 60.
I think. Right? Because if we subtract 2x from both sides, then subtract 20 from both sides, that negative 16 is probably the trap door there.
Alright.
Watch out for those trap doors. Questions? So 811 can go away, and 812 can be on your desk. And I think I left my paper back there. Nope, I have it right here. Yeah, this is on your paper. So go ahead and start looking at 19. And that graph paper that you definitely already had, since you have graph paper every single day, is where we're going to do our histograms. We're going to re-practice making histograms with problem 19 right here. So you and your partner, let's review how to make a histogram. Which, what? Graph paper. Huh. The second sentence in A tells us to place the box plot above the histogram on the same number line. That's convenient. Then we can put a histogram and a box plot on the same set. Convenient. I was you, I'd probably put the data in order first. What's an easier way to put data in order? Using a stem and leaf. I think I heard somebody say it quietly. Wait. We're on 8.1.2, examples from class problem 819 about Josh and his golf clubs. Oh, by the way, we're turning this in with your homework. So if you're thinking I'm going to sit here and not do this, we're turning this paper in with your homework. We do have a 0. Interesting. That must have been a bad shot. Thank you. Seeing if anyone actually is paying attention to the fact that it's golf and we want small numbers. Yeah, the first one is not as convenient to stem and leaf. I put 0 on a stem and leaf? Stem of 0, leaf of 0. Ooh, double checking how many numbers we have is always a good idea. Make sure we got all those 11s, all those 12s. Man, I don't have a pencil over here to cross things off with. From 13, do we just jump up to 19? Yeah? I figured some of you guys are ahead of me. We're doing this together. I mean, the quick answer is it's the number right between them. The longer answer is to find that number, add them together, divide by 2. Because that is how you find the number that is right between them. All right, let's pull it together. So on the wedge, I think we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 data points. So double check, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Good. I have all my data up here. However, Ada, talk to us about the median. So in order, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, my median will be between my 3 and my 5. So it's 4. Now that's kind of not that difficult for us to figure out what's between 3 and 5. But if it's tougher, add them together, divide by 2. Right? So 3 plus 5 would be 8. So our median is 4, but it's not one of our numbers. It's just our median. And then actually, our upper quartile and lower quartile are easier because our lower quartile will be this 2. Our upper quartile, 1, 2, will be this 15. But histogram seems to be trickier for a lot of us than the box plot works. So we'll come back to box plot. Histogram with a bin width of 5. So we label our x-axis 0 to 5, 5 to 10, 10 to 15. But we make our life easier by just putting 0, 5, 10, 15, 20. But if we wanted to, you could, and some histograms do this, this is representing the 0 to 5 range. But what's tricky about that is if it's 5, it's going to go up. Right? We said it goes into the upper one. So that's really 0 to 4.999, like it's almost 5. So that's why we don't like to show it like 0 to 5. That's actually confusing for us. So if we're only showing how many results in between 0 and 5, and like Simon said, 0 is good. 0 means you got right in the distance to hole. You got it in the hole. You put the ball in the hole where it's supposed to go. So how many between 0 and 5? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 doesn't count. So our frequency 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We show the frequency from 0 to 5 is a frequency of 5. By this next mastery, you should have mastered histograms. That's why we're hitting this a bit harder. What's my frequency from 5 to 10, including the 5s, not including any 10? Yeah, just how many? 2. 2. So just 2. A lot lower there. What about from 10 to 5, and that would include the 10? We can just shout these out. 0.
0.
But I have, what do I do?
You don't wait anything.
You just don't put anything. So the only way that there's a gap between bars in a histogram is to show a blank data space. We don't just put gaps there to make it look nice. There's going to be a gap here, but that's because there's no data there. So from 15 up to 20, what's our frequency?
1.
1. From 20 to 25?
Also 1.
Also 1. Questions on that histogram?
There's also one from 25 to 30.
Ooh,
Yeah.
I did not keep going. Ooh, wait, what? For the wedge?
25.
Oh, because the 25. Oh, this 25. It can't go here. It's got to go over here. So we do need one from 25 to 30 because that 25, it pushes up in the histogram. It's up in that bar. Questions? Thank you. That was on purpose. It was you who fought me about that, right? Speak up. Have I ever yelled at anyone for like stopping me or speaking up or being like, oh wait, hold it? That was, man, I lived to do that with Mr. McCullough. In my high school math class, I was just waiting until I could catch him on something. For real. He was my swim coach. We had a great relationship.
Zara Merchant to the office, please.
For our 8-iron, which by the way, it's iron, just so like it's just there's a variety of irons. If you
Zara
don't know.
Merchant to the Perry office.
Deja vu. Deja you. All right. 0 to 5. Not counting 5.
1.
1, right? Just 1 over here. 5 to 10. Ooh, but not counting the 10. 4. 10 to 15, counting the 10.
7.
Okay.
1.
15 to 20.
1.
Ooh, just 1. Anything else?
1.
Why?
Because of the 20.
The 20 has to bump up. This 20 is not catching that 20. We need this. And guys, here's another good double check. 1, 5, 7, 1, 1. If I didn't have this last one, I wouldn't have all of my data. Right? So if I count how many data points I have, and I see did I get them all, this should be the same as the amount of data points we have. Claire.
Wait, how is it 5 for the second?
I don't know, I got told 5. So the 5 bounces up. 1, 2, 3, 4. Ooh, it should only be 4. I think. I was just trusting what you guys
I
told me,
think
but
Laurel said 4, but
I think this should just be 4.
yeah, it should.
And then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That 9 bumps up into there. The 20 bumps into there. Now I think we're good. So you also get a piece of candy player. Giving away all the candy today. Questions on the histograms. So now how do we do a box plot? Because we don't call it box and a whisker anymore because we're growing up. Will, how do I do it on the same number line?
You just put the
We just literally put the
put all the numbers in.
well, we started figuring out the median and quartile 1 and quartile 3.
You just put the you put them all in like the box plot.
You literally just put them directly above your box plot. So you put them above your histogram. So literally, our minimum on the wedge is right here. That's your lowest, right? That's the end of your whisker. Our minimum is 0. We start there. Our quartile 1 for the wedge, what was quartile 1? It doesn't look like 4.
Oh, wait,
2? Our median was 4. Our quartile 3,
15.
15. And our maximum,
25.
you literally just use the same number line you already put the effort into drawing, and you draw the box plot right above it. Questions? I want to wait a moment, make sure you guys get this down on your graph paper because you're turning this in with this homework. You are turning this graph paper in with this homework. Aside from I did it wrong, dang it, are there any questions? Real quickly, let's look at 27 together. So on your homework paper, flip and let's look at 27. Guys, some of us keep trying to avoid actually doing the algebra, which is a standard that we need to have mastered by the time we get out of this class. So on 27, I'm going to give you a head start, but with the assumption, this means you actually have to do the algebra, and I'm actually paying attention and actually going to give check minuses if necessary, which I hope not. I never want to give check minuses. I'd rather us just all turn our work in and it'd be great the first time. Mark sets up an expression or an equation that is going to be m equals. Eric is going to set up an expression that is E equals. Mrs. Chen is not telling you her age because that's rude. No, but we could use C since M is already taken from Mark. C is. You need all 3 of these expressions shown, and then algebra to put them all together. So what we're going to end up doing, since they tell us that all 3 of them are 149, is we're going to end up eventually, after we do this step, we're going to have M plus E plus C equals 149. We're going to replace our M, E, or C with whatever else we have from over here. Whatever needs replaced, we replace. Substitution. Then we're going to show our work to do the algebra. If you turn in just answers, it's a check minus. I have to see that you actually know how to do the algebra. Questions? think that was the main stuff I wanted to cover today. Let me check the... Ooh, interquartile range, fancy word for the difference between quartile 1 and quartile 3. So, interquartile range, here, how far is it from 2 to 15? 13 would be our interquartile range here. What is our interquartile range for the 8 iron? Well, guys, if you're doing this, what was quartile 1? What was quartile 1? We haven't figured it out. We probably should.
8.
7.
Ooh, uh-oh. Is it 7? Is it 8?
8.
7.
Well, hold on. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 data points. So the problem is even numbers don't work nice for the median. So real quick, if we have 14 numbers, the median is between the 7th and 8th number. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. The median, right? There's our median. So that's going to be 10.5. But then I have 7 numbers down on the lower half. So 7 numbers has a middle. 1, 2, 3, 4. So 8 is your lower quartile. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 12 is your upper quartile. Oop, went the wrong way. So if we know that this is 8 and this is 12, what's your IQR here?
4.
4. Right? Interquartile range is a fancy way of saying subtract. Which of these clubs is more consistent? Like the data's closer together. Okay? The 8 iron. Our box plot is narrower. It's more consistent. Which club would you pick for this shot? Akmar, why are you pointing at the wedge?
Because they have like more frequency of the better shots.
The wedge has a lot of data hanging out down here in the low end. And in golf, do you want high numbers or low numbers? You want low numbers. So yeah, I'd probably use the wedge for this shot. Even though the 8 iron is more consistent, looks like he's better sometimes, right? Not always, but looks like he is better with the wedge. Guys, if I draw a line, look up here real quick, because this is where I really hope you understand. If I draw a line right here through the median, how much percent is on the left side of it? Sammy, shout it out.
50%.
Yeah, this median is literally splitting your data in half. That means 50% of his shots with the wedge, less than 5 yards away from the hole. Pretty good. As opposed to over here, 50% of his shots with the 8 iron, they're within 10 yards.
That's not bad.
Not bad. But would we rather be pretty good or not bad? Pretty good. Alright, that's all the time I got for today. Have a good one, guys.
Thank you, sir.
Turn in your late and missing work.